So we're 10 days into 2022. I think it's enough time now to take stock of New Year's resolutions, if you made any, and hear with more on, let's call it the head, heart, and gut connection, and how to manage your wants versus your needs is world-renowned mental performance coach to Olympic champions and captains of industry and regular people like you and me, Jean-Francois Menard. Jean-Francois, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
Good morning, George. Thanks for having me.
So let's start here, Jean-Francois. First, do you believe in New Year's resolutions? I mean, are they healthy? Are they effective?
I actually do, George. I think it's a great time of year to have some goals for the simple fact that, a lot of people took some time off to relax and to reflect back on the year during the holidays back on 2021. And once the new calendar year comes into play, I think it's a great time to think about, well, what did we do well? What do we want to continue doing well? And what do we want to change? I think the main problem with a lot of people is not having new goals. I think the main problem is how they go about them. And most people will try to go from 0 to 100. If you think of someone that wants to start doing exercise, they'll go from not doing any exercise at all to want to exercise 5 times a week. Well, that's difficult. And so if there's one little tip I would give is to simplify the goal and to make it smaller. To go from maybe, exercise once or twice a week and allow yourself to be good, allow yourself to accomplish that goal. And then once you get comfortable at doing that once or twice a week, and then you can progress and make it 3 or 4 times.
Now, COVID came along since the last time you and I talked, and it's been an incredible disruptor. And for some, maybe even a crutch to sort of put things aside that, maybe aren't priority right now. What's it been like for you coaching through COVID?
It's been, what's the right word? Challenging. It's been very challenging. I mean, one of the realities, George, of my work is building, programs or, helping people progress in whatever they're looking to accomplish. So if you think of an Olympic athlete, for instance, they have a set schedule for the next 12 months where we know where they're going to compete and how they're going to train and when they need to peak.
Right.
For the last 2 years, it's been very complicated because most of these competitions were canceled. Some were canceled a long time in advance. Some were canceled last minute. And it's difficult to build something for, based on uncertainties. So it's been a lot of just bringing, my clients' brains back to the present moment. And let's just focus on the certainties. Let's just focus on what's going on now. But it's been challenging. I'm not going to hide it. And even for someone who is an expert in this field, even myself, there are some moments where I was living some extra anxiety and, being tired and just stressed out with what was going on. But, making sure to have techniques to handle that, to manage that is extremely important regardless who you are.
We just saw some footage there of Virtue and Moyer. You have an incredible client list. Your bona fides, very impressive. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif as well, Super Bowl champion, the list goes on. And your book, the last time you were on here, we were talking about it, Train Your Brain Like an Olympian. Heralded as a great success, across the sporting world, the corporate realm. You've helped a lot of people in everyday life as well. But you know what? In Tokyo, Jean-Francois, we saw a sort of a new, raw and exposed side of the Olympians that we've never seen before, at least not in a big way. Biles, Osaka, even Michael Phelps, going back to his documentary, The Weight of Gold. How do you reconcile, as a coach, the sort of realms of mental toughness and getting in the zone with, good mental hygiene and do no harm?
It's a fine line. It really is. And that's where it's so important to have great collaboration, great communication between the coaches and the athletes. So the athletes feel comfortable sharing their needs and sharing how they feel with their coaches so that what's asked from them is not over the limit on a regular basis. I'm not going to hide it. To be an elite athlete, it is tough. Sometimes I'm asked, is it healthy to be an elite athlete? And it's a good debate to have because they constantly push themselves on a regular basis. But I think what we saw at the Olympics, and not only at the Olympics, if we here in Montreal with Carey Price and Jonathan Drouin, their hockey players, is now athletes are talking about it and they're using their platforms to share what they're going through because they're not the only ones. And they're humans. They're humans like everyone else, and they're not robots. And so I think it's great for athletes to talk about it because there's people in normal society, maybe normal society is not the right word, but outside of sport, that go through similar things. And we're seeing really a trend of people now getting support. So I think it's great.
You know, there's that old ethos, at what price glory, right? And some people, you know, have a different price that they'll pay. And I guess that comes down to the athlete. When it comes to the athletes you train, the individual athlete, if you know, they're the ones that I guess dictate to you how far they, you know, are willing to go.
Totally. And I can't stress enough this concept that I mentioned a while ago about the importance of psychological safety, like in making sure the communication is very, very clear between, you know, the coach and the athlete, or, you know, the boss and the employee, the parent and the child. Like it's, you know, when there's a power position somewhere, when you're a leader, when you're a coach, when you're a manager, it's very important to understand the needs of the people you're working with, because everyone is going through challenges. And when those needs are met, when people feel felt and they feel like people really care about them, they feel more comfortable really speaking about what's going on. And I think it's just healthier for everyone.
Jean-Francois Menard, thank you so much. The book is Train Your Brain Like an Olympian. Highly recommended. It is a great read for connecting head, heart, and gut. Have yourself a great day.